Where am I? Hello, I'm the other co-host. You just listened to Brian Bresee. Um, he is a bereaved father who lost his son. My name is Kate Moore. I am a survivor of LDS Church abuse policies. And I invite any other survivor with experiences in this to come down and talk so that we don't get laryngitis from this filibuster. So I don't think I'm ready to tell my story just yet, but I can say that the abuse policies affected more than one generation of life. Just like Brian lost Samuel because of ineffective, inept leadership. If we had not moved, because my husband sensed something was wrong with our 12-year-old daughter, she would have done the same thing. In her particular case, she was a whistleblower on a suspect situation with pornography exposure and went to her bishop under the counsel of her mother and father, because we've been trained to trust our church leaders. Now, in the Mormon church, we don't have a clergy, we don't have like pastoral college. Most of the people, up until the general authority level, do this all as volunteer work in addition to their jobs. So you can have a plumber, maybe, or a dentist, or an accountant. And in my daughter's case, her bishop was a executive in a company. I think it was an automotive. And so she went to him because she told me what was going on. She was exposed to pornography at this friend's house that was LDS friend. And he turned it on her. He made her the bad person. My daughter's name was smeared through the whole board. And he told her that she would not make it to the celestial kingdom and would be separated from her family forever if she ever did anything like it again. Now, how would you feel if you were a little 12-year-old girl with pure heart and trusting attitude that my daughter had? She didn't tell us. If I'd have known what this man did, Mother Bear would launch that day. But when did I find out? I found out when she was ready to leave on her mission for this church, to give her life to this church for 18 years. That's when I found out what this man did and what hell my daughter went through, mentally abusing herself, religious scrupulosity, and everything because of what this untrained guy did. Now, if you're going to have people that we're taught to look up to as speaking for the mouth of God, but on the other hand, not train them as counselors, not train them as pastoral people, you're going to risk somebody doing some bloody heart surgery, mind surgery on your children. Another one of my children, I found this out when he was an adult. I have 5 children. 2 of them are adults, and neither one of them made it to adulthood without damage from stupid abuse policies. This son woke up at Boy Scout camp with the member, if you know what I mean, of his priest group leader on his face. So my son and my ex-husband took it to their bishop. Who did they protect? They protected this priest. They sent him on his mission. And my son quit coming to church. And my son went on the internet. And my son started looking for why he was treated like this and found the CES letter. You tell me if the men had been trained, if abuse policies were better, if my son wouldn't have left the church and introduced us to the CES letter. You know, it would be kind of smart to do a little brain surgery here at church. You don't want to lose members? Start having proper abuse policies. Okay, I'm ready to tell my story now. Hope you can see my face because of my hat. But anyway, I grew up in an abusive home, and I went to college in a family ward. I didn't want to go back to my original abusers that summer. So the Relief Society president and her husband, who was a counselor in the bishopric, invited me to stay at their home. If I would do some cleaning and help with housework, I could stay there for free. Sounds like a good deal, right? I was 18, and they lived out in the country. So because my parents didn't want their insurance to go up, I didn't have a driver's license, I didn't have a car, so I had to depend on this bishopric counselor driving me to school and back, in which I spent 30 minutes one way, going back and forth. Now, what I didn't know, and what everybody in that state knew, because the state president was the bishop and handled this, was that this man had an affair. He didn't confess it for like 24 years, But when it was confessed, he only was disfellowship, and then he was called into the bishopric. And I walk into this mess. The wife is hurt. They're not sleeping on the same floor of the house. I mean, I walk into a war zone, right? Nobody told me, nobody warned me. So I spend the summer getting groomed, and it's getting worse and worse, turning from a father figure, church leader situation to something wrong. I knew it was wrong, right? And I felt ashamed of it, confused. Nobody taught me in the church. No, abuse policies. Can you teach kids about boundaries? Can you teach kids about informed consent? Hello. But anyway, I finally go to the stake president on my own in November. This guy, I tried not to disclose who it was. I wasn't trying to give him away. I was trying to repent and take care of me. I just didn't want to throw out the baby with the bathwater, right? Just preserve this relationship and throw out the muddy water and get it back to what it was in the beginning. Hello, truck.